We come to Dying Light, the new zombie game from Techland. And we know what you're thinking. You're thinking it's Techland. Didn't they do that one with Mr. Dead in it? You'd be
Mr. Dead.
absolutely right. They did do the Dead Island games, both of them, or both one of them if you want to be cynical.
They were both one really. Well, they were both one good game.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
A good co-op game.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the hook there. I mean, Techland, one of the most hit and miss developers in the business at the moment, I think. Like, when they do something well, they do it really well. I thought the second Call of Juarez game was really good.
Yeah, the most recent one as well.
Yeah.
Gunslinger.
Yeah, that
was
was
awesome.
excellent, yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
But they occasionally not so much. I mean, Dead Island had a good hook. Like the co-op thing was good. The kind of Borderlands style custom weapon thing was pretty cool. And again, they've moved away from that, but they've still got that hook. They've got kind of the Mirror's Edge parkour stuff in this one, which if they can pull it off, could be awesome. The combo sounds brilliant. Like combining that melee action from Dead Island with, like I say, a Mirror's Edge style kind of free running system has the potential to be something quite brilliant.
Dead Rising was interesting. Not Dead Rising. Dead
Dead
Island.
Rising was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Dead Rising. That's a whole other kettle of fish. Dead Island was interesting because I wouldn't describe it as a good game, as a well-made game.
Oh no, it's a technical kind of
Yeah,
assessment of that game. It's awful.
Yeah, it's ugly, it's buggy, the combat's janky, all of this, but it's still really fun. Like especially with other people. So and in a way that's a lot more important than all the kind of technical box ticking.
Yeah.
So if they can kind of, and hey, this looks technically awesome. So who knows? Maybe they've learned how to actually make a game as well. But as long as it's fun and as long as it's still got that kind of almost B-movie sense of
Of fun.
Yeah. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah. I mean, the problem I've had with this so far is you can climb poles, and zombies can't climb poles. So why would I not just climb a pole and stay up there?
This is the thing. Like, if zombies can't climb, just live in a treehouse.
Yeah.
I seem to remember someone in Dead Island 1 or the second one, which was still 1, doing exactly that. Just... Why are you running around? If there's loads of zombies outside, just stay upstairs.
Grab a couple of tins of beans, sit in the treehouse for a few weeks, and wait for all this to blow over. Yeah.
They're only zombies. They're not going to last forever. They'll decompose. Oh, zombie child, kill it.
It might be alive. It's fine.
Oh yeah, it's an alive zombie child.
They're just called children.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what the story will be like in this one, because I don't think Techland can pull off like a kind of emotional, serious. The zombies may seem monstrous, but we are the real monsters.
Here we go again.
Look what we have become. They can't do that. I know right now that they would not be able to pull that off. So if it's like a silly action movie, take this zombies, and punting their heads off and stuff. That I think would be more up their street.
Yeah, it looks more like that from what we've seen, I think.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, at least count your blessings this time they haven't gone for the kind of pre-rendered, heart-wrenching 3-minute cinematic trailer.
The world's best trailer for a game that's never being made.
Yeah. Instead, we've actually got gameplay this time, which is absolutely the right way to go.
Yeah. Again, like stuff like this, I'd be interested to see whether you have an option, like if it's automatically hands up, these guys got guns, or if maybe you have the option to take those dudes out instead. Surely
you would. I mean, we're going into a new generation. That kind of thing is kind of on a par with invisible walls, surely.
Yeah, I'd hope so, because when I'm playing this game, if somebody threatens me with a gun, they're gonna die. I ain't playing this game to put my hands up and walk away. No, sir.
And the good news there, as you can see, is that you can still cell type a battery to a knife and somehow make an electric power sword.
Yep.
Which don't try this at home.
No.
It's a really bad idea.
I'm not really sure, why is electricity any more effective on zombies? An electric knife. Why is that any better than a normal
kind of
knife?
An electrical impulse from the brain that brings them back to life?
I don't know.
So technically speaking, you're making them more powerful.
Yeah, it depends entirely on the zombie canon that we're rolling with here. I mean, you wouldn't see that in a Romero film. So, but yeah, the potential for silly. Did he just like jump off a zombie's face?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What are the odds that for that big guy you have to stand near a wall and wait for him to
run into the wall,
and then he stuns himself and you can hit him a few times?
I'd argue the odds are pretty high because
that's going to happen.
Because that's how boss battles work.
But at least you can run away in this. Again, that's kind of the options we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it will have just the kind of free roamy structure with story missions you can follow as you choose. Traditional open world GTA stuff.
Yeah.
Because again, if the parkour's good, I love Mirror's Edge. I understand that a lot of people didn't, and a lot of people couldn't get over its flaws, and it definitely had flaws. But the concept of a proper first-person parkour game, we just haven't seen anyone try that since.
No. I mean, that's why people were so excited to see Mirror's Edge 2
absolutely.
teased, announced, or whatever at E3.
Yeah, and then when EA were like, oh yeah, we know everybody, the thing they loved about the first Mirror's Edge was the character of Faith, so this is her prequel story. I'm just like, no.
The thing no one cared about.
The thing everybody loved about Mirror's Edge was jumping off buildings and stuff. The story was terrible.
Not the nonsense story rubbish cutscenes that were
told in cut-out cutscenes.
Thanks, Rihanna.
They were poor. But yeah, if this can kind of not replicate, but if it can be a decent parkour game in a similar vein, then I'd be all over that, because I think it's a niche with a lot of potential that hasn't been fully utilised. Stuff like the Assassin's Creed games have got parkour at a stretch, but all you're doing is holding down a button and pressing forwards.
Yeah. It does need to be more involving than that. I mean, my main concern with this at the moment is they've already proven they can do a passable job at a zombie melee action game, and they've now added in another massive element that can potentially go wrong. Like, it seems like they're biting off more than they can chew.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't expect this to be a technically sound, decent game. So it might be really kind of janky and plastic and weird, but if it's fun, I think it'll be okay. That's all that really matters
at the end of the day.
Yeah. And hey, it looks nice.
It does. Looks very nice. It's a new engine, I think, as well.
Yeah, surprising.
Now.
Considering how Riptide looked, which is certainly on PS3 at least. Which is
even on PC and that as well. Did you ever see the PC mods where they pulled it back to third person?
Oh yeah, it's just a floating pair of hands, isn't it? Yeah,
it's flailing around oddly. It looks
amazing. That's excellent. I've got a lot of time for that. Yeah. But yeah, again, stuff like this, the more stealthy elements. I like that they're diversifying and they're kind of gradually broadening their scope.
Sure. Based on prior form though, Techland and stealth are two things I never want to see put together.
That is also true.
There were terrible stealth bits in the first Dead Island. Most Juarez levels have at least some kind of don't get seen, hide in the field. And no, I'm a cowboy. I don't hide in fields. I shoot things.
That's one of the things I liked about Gunslinger so much, is that they just went...
It's just balls to the wall
action, full force with you're a cowboy, so go out there and be a badass. That was a really good little game. So, I kind of have faith that this will be at least alright. Because, say what you will about Techland, but they've certainly got a personality.
Yeah. So, and they are improving.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
Well. They may not be the best developer in the world just yet, but they're making about 8 games a week, so eventually they'll get there.
And an average developer with a personality, I think, is worth a lot more than a kind of AAA one that's just clinical and boring.